lot happens between the opening number and this one. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is something that I've done in previous shows that I've talked about, and basically only talk about the plot points that are important for whatever song that I am talking about. So for today's number, the only thing that we really need to know is that between the opening number and this one, we get introduced to our primary antagonists, or at least the primary antagonists of this first act. Those antagonists being Professor Quirrell and Lord Voldemort, who is growing out of the back of Quirrell's head. Which, yes, is very strange, but also from the original source material, so we can't blame Starkid for this particular strangeness. So after a brief squabble about a discarded robe, we get this song between the two of them.
You won't sleep on your tummy.
You won't sleep on your back. We're quite a kooky couple, you'll agree.
Now this song does two things very well. The first, from a meta standpoint, is that this is the first villain song that we really hear from Starkid if we were to listen to all of the musicals from the first one all the way through to the last one in order. And honestly, I think it does a very good job of setting the tone for all of Starkid villain songs. I think this is a very solid villain song. It allows us to know who these characters are, and it also allows us to see what their end goal is. And the other thing that the song does very well is that it introduces us to the relationship between these two. Now, I don't know if Quirrellmort, which is the official ship name, is the most shipped ship of Starkid, but I think it might be. And the song honestly does a really good job of introducing why. This song is all about how different these two are. I mean, it's literally the name of the song. So on the one hand, we have Voldemort, who honestly is the epitome of toxic masculinity. He sees himself as a big, strong man, the Dark Lord who is going to take over the world, and he's pretty disparaging of the fact that Quirrell doesn't fit his own standards. And Quirrell, on the other hand, is a lot more sensitive. His lines in the song are all about how he likes books and tea and flowers. So all of those things that don't tend to be seen as quote-unquote masculine. Which, you know, is ridiculous, but again, toxic masculinity. And despite this tension between them, we see that Quirrell doesn't put up with a lot of Voldemort's shit. Like, Quirrell flat out points out the fact that Voldemort got beat by a 2-year-old and that he's not necessarily assuming that Voldemort's going to succeed this time. And I think that's kind of why this relationship works. At this point in the musical, neither of these characters have grown all that much. They are very much just the villains of the piece. But we see underneath all of these words the beginning of care between the two of them. Again, it's nowhere near as strong as it gets by the end of Act 1, but we do see the seeds. And ultimately we get with this song is that although both of these characters are so vastly different, at the end of the day, their end goals are the same. That end goal, of course, being ruling the world. And that is it for this week's song. I'm not going to be back next week because it's Christmas, and so, you know, family time and all that. But hopefully sometime after that, I shall return to talk about the next song. See you then. Don't know how to word this without sounding awkward, but I am also very good at sounding awkward. Flowers and... Hello.